Right, so today, guys, we're going.
Well, you can do. You're more than welcome to. So. God. You know, it's like looking at us right now, isn't it? Right. I feel like we're live, but we're not live.
Yeah, it feels like live stream.
It feels a bit, strange, but here we go. And I've got my Grinch socks on for, I don't know if that's good luck or not.
Well, like that. But to be fair, Grinch the musical is having a revival.
Well, there we go. Have we already started now? Haven't we done an intro? I think this will be like the takes of it.
I mean, I don't know.
Right, well. Good evening all, and hello. Welcome to episode 1 of my brand new podcast.
Yeah.
That has just been released. Well, it isn't released yet. Well, when you're seeing this, it has been released. And I'm releasing it on Friday the 13th, which, as I found out when I released the date, it was a Friday and it was the 13th. Yeah. So it's a bit unlucky, but hopefully it won't flop and it will actually go the complete opposite way, but there we go. So as you would have seen, I am joined by someone. This is Katie. I've known Katie, well, she's known me longer, since I was born. Now, 18 years she's known me and dealt with me, which is probably...
I should get an award for that.
It's a bit rude, I'm not that bad.
I'm joking.
Well, yeah. We've been on numerous holidays, we've been here, there and everywhere, and we've been to London about 1 million times.
Yeah.
Basically, anywhere we go adventurous or, a little bit quirky, Katie's always there, which is, a great thing. And she is here today to answer some questions for me and to be on episode 1, which I'm very happy about, and thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, I'm excited.
You're more than welcome. So this is a setup, we are on a budget, so, we haven't got the big quirky microphones, we have got a spatula, but it's in theme because off the stove, you put this in a stove, on the mic, which I've got my little mic. Do you like my new microphone? Now that is a saying that all my friends know, because when I had a microphone in one of my videos, I done the saying, do you like my new microphone? And it went well. So this could go one way or another, guys. This could go carnage, this could go, well, I just don't know. But we know, we'll start with it.
Let's see what happens.
The episode is called Behind the Curtain, A Performer's Story. Some of you may know Katie if you're watching this, and some of you may not. But Katie is a performer and have done since the age of 2, am I correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I think, roughly about then. I think I originally started a dance when I was 4.
All right.
But I mean, to be fair, not out of choice. My mum obviously put me in it because, being 4 years old. But, naturally I was very shy when I was younger. I did not talk to anyone. I would cling on to my mum for dear life. And it was her that then put me in dance because she was like, you need to build your confidence. And it was my sister that actually was at a dance school at the time.
Oh, yeah.
So then she was like, well, just do that. So I don't think she realised it was going to be a career. I don't think she really planned that.
25 years later? 24 years later? You're still doing it?
Yeah, I don't think that was the plan.
Well, it is what it is, and if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
Exactly.
And, you've come this far, you've performed in all different arenas, and you've even performed what was your biggest... You weren't on the Robbie Williams movie, you were part in that, wasn't you?
Yeah, I did that.
And then was you in Wembley? Was it Wembley?
Yeah, I did perform over Wembley Arena. That was January last year, I think it was.
There we go. Yeah. So we've answered the what age did you fall in love with it? And do you think you've been in love with dance ever since you started? Or do you think when you were younger, you just said obviously you were not pushed into it, but you were kind of forced into it? But do you regret it, or are you pleased you've carried on?
No, I'm definitely pleased I carried on. I think it was one of those things, I didn't really realise how much I loved it growing up. And then I think it was about the age of 10 where I started doing competitions and I started kind of building into it more. That was when I was like, no, I do really want to do this as a career. I definitely don't regret it. I mean, my body's probably not going to like me for it when I'm older.
That's
but
true.
No, I don't regret it. I feel like it is literally my life. It just takes over. Anytime you listen to a piece of music, I'm dancing in my head. It just naturally, it's just been my life. Yeah.
And everything on telly, all dance and stuff, is just absolutely love it.
Well,
as you already probably know, and everyone probably knows, that this industry is one of the hardest industries to get into today, because everyone wants to do it. I mean, even people that are shy, like you just said, or have got no confidence or anything, that is sort of a dream. Everyone's dreams, be on Hollywood, be on the telly, be an actor, be famous. What sort of challenges do you think you've found or had the most when starting this? Obviously, you're going to get turnbacks, you're going to get no's, how have you, what sort of challenges have you had in it?
I mean, good question, to be fair. I mean, I think definitely, I think definitely mentally, I think it's it's one of those things that obviously you do it growing up and you love it, but then when it starts to become a career and you're auditioning, it's more of like the mental battle rather than physical sometimes. And I think, especially obviously because you're putting your body through so much, I think injuries as well, like all that kind of thing, like there's a lot to it. And I think especially like you said, nowadays there's so many people that do it, and there's like, you know, back in the day there weren't nowhere near as many people as there is now. So it just makes it 10 times harder because there's more people and still the same amount of jobs. So I think it's so difficult. I think the mental kind of struggle, and when you're going into an audition, if you get cut, to be like, is it me? Is it because I'm bad? Is it like, you know, it's that kind of thing of, you overthink it, and I'm such an overthinker anyway as it is. So, you know, you naturally come out of that situation going, oh, was it because I did this kick wrong, or is it because I did that bit, or I didn't perform on it? You know, you kind of send yourself into a bit of a spiral, but you have to kind of surround yourself with like the positive people and like everyone. And I think nowadays, to be fair, I think it's a lot different in auditions in that respect. Like, people are a lot friendlier. Like, naturally you still do come across those people that naturally have a bit of a interesting personality, to put it that way. But I think it's a much more supportive environment nowadays when you're going to an audition. Like, it's not,
everyone's there for the same reason, aren't they?
Exactly. And I think especially when you're in an open call, or like you're stood in the queue, like, you know, everyone's in the same position, so you're naturally going to chat to each other about different things of how you're finding the audition. And like people are a lot more supportive. Like, if you're in the room, like, if, I don't know, I mean, I find I do it myself a lot, and because I really appreciate it when people do it to me. Like, if you're in the room and someone comes up to you afterwards, like, oh my god, you did so well, that was so good. And even if you get cut, like, if someone still come up to you and said that, it's like, oh, okay, but they thought I did well, so so maybe it wasn't what I did, I just didn't fit that job.
And probably a lot of times as well, that you've mentioned before, open auditions and stuff, you're probably, even though you're going there with the hope to get it, the producers and stuff in there probably are not going to pick anyone. They've already picked their cast. But, you know, maybe if they see one or two that they think, oh my god, we're going to change it for this person, then, you know, 9 times out of 10, out of 1,000 people, or how many people go to that open call, maybe 1 or 2 out of that will actually get it.
Exactly.
It's like winning the lottery.
Yeah, it literally is. Needle in a haystack kind of thing, really.
No, you never know anyone to win it, but so many people apply for it.
Exactly. So, literally.
There we go, we'll use that catchphrase.
So, I like that catchphrase.
There we go. But I know it's obviously hard to get into, and, you know, it is a competitive industry, but, you know, you've got there, you've got jobs, so, you know, you've got there. Why do you think people should choose you in this industry?
Ooh.
Why do you think people should pick you and cast you to be on these West End shows? Why do people come to the show to see you?
I mean...
What is it, Kate, about you?
Come on. Well, I think above all, I feel like in this industry as well, like, you've got to be a nice person, and I like to hopefully think that I'm really nice to everyone I meet. Like, I always try and make friends with everyone. I feel like I find it like, I'm not a kind of person that I easily don't like anyone. I feel like I like most people I meet, so I try and like get on with them. So I feel like nice person to work with, hopefully.
Well, there we go.
But I think it's kind of like you say, in a way, it's like what you bring to the table that's different to everyone else. And I think, I mean, naturally, I'm such an expressive person. Like, I use my face a lot. Like, I'm when I'm on stage. So I like to think my performance is probably my main, like, selling point. Like, when I'm in an audition, like, no matter what happens, I'm still there smiling. Like,
you're not going to be on the stage and people are going to be watching you and go, oh, that person was well grumpy over there. She didn't smile once.
I like to hope not, anyway.
But you do, don't you? You watch these shows, West End, and you think, how have they got cast? They're not smiling. They can't dance. What do I do? Why can't I get it? You know, you do, but sometimes, as it's always says, people you know.
Exactly.
You know, it's
not very much like
what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah, and it is very much jigsaw as well. Because I feel like a lot of these things, like, so many people I know, they've gone into the room, they get to the finals, and then they don't get it, and it's that thing of like, but they didn't fit quite the jigsaw. If they had a certain person in mind for the lead, and then the supporting person, it just didn't quite fit. And it's not that they were bad or anything like that. They were still incredible, but they just didn't quite fit with the cast they already had. So I think it is very much, like fitting the jigsaw, as they say.
As well. Obviously, we've gone over this a little bit, but you get, you know, you're going to get the no's, you're going to get the rejections, you're going to get the letdowns. Is there a point in your career when you think, I can't keep having these no's or these rejections? I know obviously you get a lot of yeses and you're doing a lot, but if you want to, the doors keep closing and not more yes, where do you think you'll go? Do you think you'll persevere with it, or?
I mean, it is tough.
Because obviously you've done this for all your life and you know what you're doing, your ability and everything is amazing. and you know you can be on the West End, but it might not be you.
Yeah.
It's the people, you know, the other people, the thousands of people out there that also do it.
Yeah.
And you know, some people are not always going to get it, but that's
Exactly.
normal at the end of the day. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it is tough, and I think I've gotten so many more no's than I have yeses. Like,
But
I
that's
feel
that's
like-
normal as well.
Exactly.
Even, you know, celebrities that are millionaires and been
oh
on,
yeah,
they still get rejections. Even like
100%.
Wicked, like who
Exactly.
applied to be what Ariana Grande
Yeah.
did.
true.
You know, they would have all got no,
yeah,
but
that's
we would have
true.
thought they would have got yes.
Yeah.
So you know, even the famous people
It is
get the
thing.
rejections.
Exactly, it is so tough. I mean, I have a process that I deal with a no. So normally what I do is, obviously I'll go to the audition, I'll give it my all. If I get cut, I allow the rest of the day to mourn. I'll have a cry, I have a bit of an
Get over
upset,
it.
I kind of let it out, and then by the next day I'm over it. Because
Yeah.
it's the thing of like, you can't dwell on it. As
No.
much as I am like kind of a person that will overthink, I try and just let the day carry on,
Yeah.
have my moment to be like, didn't get that job, gutted. And then the next day I go, okay, right, what am I going to do next? Where's my aim next? I try and keep moving forward rather than
Absolutely.
thinking about the past.
Because at the end of the day, if you dwell on the past, you're never going to go back into an audition again. You're never
Exactly.
going to go on it again because
Yeah,
at the end of the day, you know, you've been let
Exactly.
down, but you need to keep persevering to actually get back out there. Because one day you're going to be on the
never
West
know.
End.
Well,
And
you never know.
This goes on to my next question. If you could be in one West End show that is currently on the stage, what would
Currently.
in the UK, in London, what would you want to be on?
That's a
Now you
difficult
had to
question.
pick one only, and you
Just
had to
one?
be in a contract for a year.
Oh, that's such a tough question.
There's
I
so
feel
many
like-
musicals out there.
There's so many.
I mean,
And I
just
love them
one.
all. This is such a difficult question. It's like the same question when people say, what's your favourite musical? I feel like it changes all the time.
Yeah,
Because I just love so many musicals. Like, I just constantly listen into the soundtrack. I mean, at the minute, I don't know whether it counts or not, but Legally Blonde is about to go on tour.
it is.
And
Yes.
I love Legally Blonde.
Yeah.
I would love to be in that show. I don't know, the excitement of it, the energy. I love it. I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just such a nice, upbeat musical. And I have booked tickets to go watch it.
Have you?
Yeah.
In Norwich or?
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
That's exciting.
Well, it is. I think they're actually coming out now, aren't they? I think it's out now, isn't it? I think they start in February.
yeah, I
And
want to say
they've
soon.
been rehearsals for a long time, so I think they have.
They might be in tech at the moment, so I think they're about to open in
They'll be coming
Leicester.
soon.
But
But
yeah, so if
yeah.
that counts, I'll say Legally
Oh,
Blonde.
Legally Blonde. Well, a lot of people also who don't get the industry and don't get how hard it is. It's a bit of a weird question, but how do you sort of react? Do you get frustrated when people who are not industry and say, "Why are you not on there? Go on that show. Go and be on there," and they
Yeah.
don't get that you can't just go on. I'm a
Yeah.
celebrity. Get me out of here. You can't just do this.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people get how hard it is.
Definitely. I think it's the way they word it. If they're saying, oh, like, what would you like to do? Or, oh,
Yeah.
this is on at the moment, why don't you look into that?
Yeah.
Then I don't get annoyed, I'd say. I kind of explain it in a different way. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, unfortunately there is a process and, like, you know,
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
to go into it. It's normally when, if it's like a cruise and someone goes, just go on that cruise.
Yeah. It's
And
like
I'm
you just
like-
can't do that
Yeah,
easily.
and I'm like,
you know?
If I could just go ring Royal Caribbean up and be like, yeah, I'm going to go on that cruise. Like, do you know what I mean?
you would.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
would have done that already. But yeah, this doesn't really
I do,
work
no.
that way. So yeah, I don't really get annoyed because I think it is such, in a way, I feel like it is quite a niche career
Yeah.
that not everyone necessarily gets. So I feel
No.
like I do get it when they're, and I do appreciate when people try and understand it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's the thing of like, I appreciate you're making the effort and it is a tough one to explain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just normally if they make a comment like, just ring that person up and get that job.
Yeah,
And
like
I'm
you can easily do that.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, because that's how it works. Like, you know,
Why not?
I wish.
But
yeah.
also a lot of people think it's a lot of free time when you're in that sort of industry as well. Like you do 8 shows a week. Now 8 shows a week is hell by the time you've not that I've ever done it, but
It's tough.
doing 8 shows a week that kills you.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, "Oh, you've got so much free time. The show don't start till 7:30 and finishes at 10, but I bet you have to be at the theatre by probably lunchtime and then
Yeah.
don't leave until about 11 o'clock at night."
Oh, 100%. I think it depends on the show as well and depends on your role in the show.
Yeah,
Because if you're
yeah.
understudying or if you're a swing,
Mm.
then you might be called in earlier for a cover run or you might
Exactly.
be called in earlier to, like, I don't know, understudy or figure out your track because you're on in the evening. Like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think 8 shows a week, like, they're tough because all the shows out at the minute, especially like vocalists, I mean dancers, everything, like they're intense, they're so intense, and like you find a lot of people saying sometimes, especially like the celebrities and things, like because they all post about it on TikTok and social media, they very much say like sometimes they can't do stage door because they need to rest and they need to look after their bodies, and like.
But people don't get that, you know. They'll put all over social media, oh they're so rude, they couldn't be bothered to come to stage door to be. But at the end of the day, if you've just done 2 shows that day, been there all day, done a previous 6 the days before, you are going to be shattered and you are literally drained. And then you've got all the people, you know. I know it's nice that these fans want to meet, you know, the West End stars, but at the end of the day,
they need to put themselves first at the end of the day.
They need to do the show tomorrow.
Exactly, like they've signed a contract, they need to do as many shows as they can,
you know, they do all weekends, you know, every moment when people want to go out partying on a Friday or Saturday night, that is when the West End shows are on, because that's when most people want to watch these shows.
Yeah.
Because they're all off, and you know, you might have time in the morning, but really you are working all day throughout the evening. So sorry about that. We've just got a welcome guest.
Hi Claire.
So when going back to my little question thing, for people who are wanting to get into this industry and wanting to start at a young age, what sort of advice would you give to someone, and what would you say there's a too old of an age to start, or do you think a 50-year-old maybe could start, or what would your advice be?
I would say get to class is my main advice. Get to class, get training, get working, because I feel like it's the determination and like the work ethic and all of that that's going to get you to where you need to go. And I think no matter what age you can do that, and, like, because I think especially with a lot of shows now, like for who they need in some casts, like the age range varies so much. Like, you know, you might need someone who's 50, you might need someone who's 17, you might need someone who's 10, and like Matilda, like, do you know what I mean? Like, so I think there's never a point that's too late to start. Like, there's also so many people I know that, like, I don't know, they did it at GCSE and then were like, actually, no, I really like it, and then it picked up from there. Like, I think there's never an age that's too old to start.
No, exactly.
So I think
because, like you just rightly said, every show needs a character for different ages.
Exactly.
You're going to need a granny, you're going to need a baby, you're going to need a younger person,
100%.
aren't you? So, depending on what age, I don't think that absolutely
100%.
matters.
And if you love it and it's something you want to do, then you're naturally going to put that work into it to make it happen. You know,
Definitely.
You know, if it's something you love and it's something you're passionate about, then you go for it no matter what age.
Yeah, exactly. And out of all the jobs you have done so far, what one have you thought, I actually did that? I've done that in my career. Is there one thing you've done and you've thought that?
I mean,
I hope so. Because everyone's going to be bad question.
No, there have been so many good jobs. I mean, I've loved pretty much every job I've done, to be fair.
Yeah, and you've done a lot, so, you know, bit of a question to think about.
I have to say, I do think over Wembley Arena and NEC Birmingham, that was like a moment for me where I was like, wow, like I'm actually performing in an arena, back up to an artist, like this, like...
Where loads of famous people have stood on that stage.
Exactly, and it was that feeling. I remember we all stood backstage waiting to go on, and you could just hear the crowd like cheering, chanting, like asking for songs, and like it was just such like an insane feeling. And I just remember we all just kind of looked at each other like, oh my god, this is about to happen.
We're doing this right now, we are going on that stage, and we're going to make this happen.
Exactly, and it was just amazing, like the crowd, you feed off of the energy as well of the crowd, and you know, like, they're arenas, and like, it was just, it was
and
insane.
in London, which again is a city where, well, it's massive, and that is where all the stars, you know, that we know around this area all come from, you know, they all live in London, they all act in London, they perform, you know, so...
But even other people, like, when we were going backstage, obviously we all had our changing rooms, so there was all obviously photos up of all different people that performed, and you have, like, Robbie Williams and all those people. Even, like, Beyonce was on there, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is incredible.
But also, you're doing this backup, you know, you're dancing for an actual celebrity where you're that close to, and people don't get that close to celebrities all the time.
Exactly.
And you're dancing on the same stage as they are, and all their fans, literally thousands of them. How many does Wembley hold?
I don't even know, I mean thousands.
Well, exactly,
I think it was about 8,000.
So all of them people are looking, you know, at you at that stage.
Yeah.
And, you know, that is a massive achievement, basically. You can say you've done it and tick off the list.
Yeah.
But also, when you're looking for further jobs, a bit like a CV when you're working, you can add that to your CV, and that will people think, oh, she's actually done that. Maybe we'll employ her to do, you know, our cover or our show.
Yeah. 100%.
And you can go from there, isn't it?
Yeah, builds the CV.
Exactly. So obviously you've had some auditions out there throughout your years.
Yeah.
What ones made you feel out of your comfort zone the most, and why?
Ooh.
What have you had to audition for and think, oh my god, am I actually doing this? Why? No, I didn't want this. Obviously, you get the sort of Moulin Rouge sort of as you know,
Yes,
you
yeah.
get them sort of auditions, I guess, and you get
Yeah.
I don't know panto auditions. So they are very different,
Yeah.
aren't they?
I mean, there was one, to be fair, that I did.
Crikey.
I did it last year, and I'm really not a ballet dancer. I'm very much more like commercial musical theatre. Tap is my top. Like, you know, I'm very much more that way. And I had to do this ballet audition, and I don't really go for ballet auditions. I have to admit, it was part of a cruise audition. And it was the first round. And I just remember going in there going, oh, this is not a bit of me. And I was stood at the bar thinking, oh, I've not done ballet for a while, to be fair, because, I mean, I think I've been out of college for a little while. I just got back from a job. So it was very much like I hadn't really trained for a while, to be fair. So I think the last job I'd done...
went back into it.
Yeah, because I think the job I'd done just before that was like an acting job. So I hadn't really done ballet for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I remember, just being in that audition going, oh, this is not feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it was still a fun audition, and the panel were lovely. But I just remember being in there like, that's fine, you can cut me. That's okay.
And even when you're not in job and you're auditioning, that takes up a lot of time, and you still need to build your strength. You still need to be doing these dance classes. You still need to be going out there
100%.
because if not, by the time you're getting auditions and jobs, you'll lose some of your ability that you've learned throughout all these years because you've been out of it for so long. Like anything.
Exactly. It's the same. Yeah, same with anything. And even like when you're in a job, like obviously you're so used to doing the same dances or the same things for a long period of time, or however long the job is. So when you're then out of that, it's like, oh, I need to go retrain. I need to go get back into it again because I'm not used to doing this anymore. No. So
and it is hard, I don't know if I can, swear on this podcast. We'll find it later on, so we might get a beat.
I'm trying to be on my best behaviour.
We might get a beat for the next bit. But one of my last questions is, let's address the elephant in the room. Is the industry really as bitchy as people say, or is it just a stereotype? Hard one to answer there, isn't it?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. I do think it is very much of a stereotype at the moment, and I think probably back in the day, I say this back in the day, like, I mean, been doing this, but...
Like 50.
Yeah. But I think it was probably a lot worse years ago.
Yeah.
I think now with social media and different things coming involved, I do think it's much more supportive.
Yeah.
Definitely, because obviously you can follow different people on Instagram, you can comment on their things and message them if you've been to an audition, and I think it's very much all about connections and things.
Absolutely.
So obviously you don't want to make a bad reputation for yourself.
No.
But so I wouldn't say it's massively bitchy, but I would say you do have the characters that are, if that makes sense. Like, I wouldn't say I've ever gone on a single job or gone somewhere and the whole room's been like that and it's been like, do you know what I mean? I've never really experienced that, but there's always one sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
And 9 times out of 10, they're probably more jealous rather than, you never know.
You don't know. You never know.
You just never know with people, do you?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
At the end of the day, you're doing something that you love and want to, do for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
But you'll be dancing now and you'll be acting as a granny in 50 years' time. So
you never know.
You never know. And you might even be on a movie one day, You'll be watching all this and thinking, oh, I remember, her. This will be like a flashback.
That would be nice.
In 10 years' time on the Hollywood, what's it, Wall of Fame?
Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Walk of Fame. Wall of Fame.
Wall of Fame.
Yeah, and in a brand new movie.
Love that. I mean, technically I have been in a film, but you wouldn't be able to spot me.
Right.
I'm so far back.
Yeah, but it's still a film.
Yeah, I mean, I
You've
loved
still been
it.
in it.
I loved it.
Well, you closed down, what was it?
Yeah, it was down Regent Street,
Regent
actually.
Street,
Yeah, it was
in
in
London.
Better Man, if you watch Better Man. There was Rock DJ, and there was about, I think, 500 dancers. We were all in college at the time, so it was all like third years. I'm very far back. I mean, I know roughly where I'm stood, but I still don't really spot me. But it was incredible. I had the best time.
Has that come on telly now?
Yeah, it has.
It is on telly now.
Yeah, I think it was about a year.
And have you watched it on the telly and see if you could spot yourself?
I have,
Yeah,
and
still-
I did try and pause it, and I was like, I know roughly where I stood, but
you just couldn't.
yeah, it's such a blur. But I think I was line like 32 out of 50 lines of 10, so it
Yeah.
was like quite far back. But that was incredible. The
Yeah.
whole like night shoot. Yeah, they shut down the street. We got to like write our name and like in the street just to know where we were running to, and it was it was
Because you
amazing.
filmed that quite a few years prior to actually coming out as well, didn't you?
Yes, yeah. So we filmed that 2023. So I literally filmed it in my third year of college, before I graduated, and it came out. I want to say 24. I
Right.
think.
Okay. So there was
Or maybe end of 24.
Yeah,
No,
because I know
it
there was quite a bit of a delay, because obviously in
Yeah.
all these sort of things you have to keep a secret squirrel anyway.
Yeah.
And
it
then
was
finally,
amazing.
and then it came out, didn't it? Because I think it was meant to come out at Christmas, but it didn't, did it? Or
Yeah.
did it? Or was it meant to come out
No.
the Christmas before?
I think it was meant to come out the Christmas of 23, is what I'd
Right.
heard. This was all
Yeah.
very rumoured though, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But then I think it came out the following year, maybe. But no, that was incredible, and they looked after us all so well. Like there
Yeah.
were so many dancers, and they all were lovely to like all of us. Like it was
And you got
really
food as
good.
well, didn't you? Food
Yeah,
and
we
drink.
got food at midnight. I got a flipping lunch. I got bangers and mash. That was lovely.
What more can you want? Sitting in
Yeah.
the middle of Regent Street, and
Yeah.
you know, and they had it all as Christmas, didn't they? Because it was a Christmas scene.
Yeah,
So
all, like,
all the
Christmas
shops.
decorations. They even even when we were coming out after a break, they all got us they all had celebrations. So we got a chocolate and
Oh
it was,
yeah.
honestly, they really treated us so well.
That's
was
one thing that
great
you do want when
experience.
you know you've got a job, you know you're being treated well. I think personally you work better and you work more knowing you've got all these food and also you're looked after. It's no
100%.
sitting in a job down Regent Street in the freezing cold. They didn't provide you a coat, so they didn't provide you with anything, no food.
Yeah, exactly. And we were there the whole night. Like we were there from 8 p.m. till I think it was 5 a.m, 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So we were literally there the entire night, and I had college the next day. So I mean,
I don't think as well people realise how long it takes just to film 40 seconds of a scene in a movie. That
Exactly.
can take, movies take years to film anyway.
yeah.
Like your night you've just said, that was only one scene, that was one song.
Yeah, it was literally 20 seconds, and it was the end
There
of
we
the
go.
song.
And that
I
took all
remember-
night.
Oh, it took the entire night, and that was literally the end. I think they'd been filming the whole scene for 3 or 4 days
Yeah.
prior to that, and they just got us in for the end. And yeah, it literally was 20 seconds routine, again 20 seconds routine, the entire night just doing it on repeat. We were just stood there waiting for them to say action, and we were just it was.
And then cut to it again.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be
all
cut,
night.
and then they're like, all right, guys, let's go back, do it again. It was but
And
it was
then
an
you all have
amazing
to go back in your
experience.
same spots again to make sure all the cameras are angled properly.
Exactly.
So it's actually a lot more work than I think a lot of people do think of.
Yeah, it definitely was, but no, incredible experience. I'd love to do that again. That was really
That
fun.
would be a dream. Well, that is all of my questions I have for Kate this evening. So that is, I think the episodes are scheduled to be around 30 minutes, and I can just about see on the timer we are at 28 minutes.
good
so
timing.
went too bad
That was
timing there,
good.
won't it? So you'll be seeing this now because it's live. I'm saying it like this is the preview, but you will see it on the 13th of February, which is a week tomorrow, which is the third. It's the 6th tomorrow. So this is First of Many Podcasts. It is episode 1. Episode 2 will be coming in the next few weeks. So keep an eye out on my socials. If you don't follow me already, please do. And I'll also tag Katie in there too, so you can give her a follow too. And keep an eye on her performing journey. Get the right word there. So thank you all for watching. If you made it to the very end of this podcast, it means a lot. Means a lot. That's the word I'm using. That's the word. Oh, well, I don't know. I've talked for 28 minutes now and I can't talk anymore. So we will cut it there. But thank you ever so much. And yeah, I can't. We will see one. Remember, this is all real. We don't edit out. So all the best, is the real bit. So yeah, so we'll see you all later. Bye.